let's get started. Some people are going to get on. It's what, Sunday morning? So how many of you guys would love to have more ability to get your goals in life? Let's see, a thumbs up or a emoticon, something like that. And how many guys would like to have more happiness and peace of mind, happiness in your life? How many of you'd love to be able to solve literally all of your goals and solve all of your problems? Yeah, well, that's welcome. Congratulations. You've come to the right place. My name is Rich Flanek, and here in my home in Santa Cruz, California, on the West Coast, outside of Monterey Bay. We're going to have a workshop, right? So I'm going to share some things that I've learned with you guys, and it's going to be a little bit of an experiential, okay? So in other words, so anytime I do these trainings, if you will, or workshops, I have a couple of simple rules. First rule, how many rules? 2. First rule is don't believe a word I say. Now, why would I say that? The reason is because anything I'm telling you is just coming from my head, my experience, it's coming from my head, or maybe it's coming from my heart, but it's really just coming from my experience. So I'm going to share my experience and some ancient wisdom, ancient, we're talking 4,000 or 5,000 year old wisdom that's now coming through the ages, wisdom of the ages that's coming through almost every culture in society, in history, has known certain things, certain people, elite at every society. This has been gone through the Eastern mysticism, Western mysticism. Now it's Western science has proven. I'm going to share with you. I'm going to share that with you in just a minute. And it is life changing. It's not tweaking, it's life transformational. What I mean by that, once you get this, you understand it, you practice it, put it into your life, that kind of stuff, you're going to find your vibration, who you are, shift a lot. Your energy level is going to begin to shift. I'm going to show you today how to shift your energy. Right now, in just a little bit, I'm going to show you how to shift your energy. It's not a difficult thing, okay? We're going to show you that. We call that level 3, and we'll show you of 4 levels, how to move from level 1 and 2, which is kind of funky, to 3 and 4. And we'll show you what that means. But it's all related to this understanding, and underneath all this understanding of how you're going to shift, how you're going to become the change so you can get your goals, you're going to move to the vibration or the frequency of your goal, all that stuff. But we're going to take it to that level. I'm going to show you how to do it right now. It's not a big deal. Not difficult. Okay? It's actually super easy when you know how. It's like anything. Somebody asked me, why is it so easy? You could have a PhD in something. You could have a PhD in master locks. Okay? You could have written every book in the history of master of locks. But if you don't know that combination, it's going to be forever to open that thing. Yet I can come along, or you could come along if you knew the combination, the syntax, the order, 1, 17, 94, 40, whatever that number is. When you know that syntax, you'll open it every single time. True or true? It's true. When you understand how to do it, it's not difficult. Flying a plane, it's so difficult, except my wife knows how to fly a plane because you studied it. So we're going to show you this. Now, where I learned this from, sorry. 2 things. 1, don't believe a word I say. I forgot the second part. And 2, to be involved. The best way to learn something is to participate, right? So I'd love for you guys to participate. And that means thumbs up, just so I know you're there. I mean, I had to get my ass out of bed at Sunday morning, so you do too. And I got to work, so you are too. It's going to be a thing going, a mutuality. Agreed? So thumbs up, or would be a yes. That's good. This is a no. This is a yes. Or what do you call that? Emoticons? Emoji. The emoji, which one? A thumbs up, or some kind of heart, some kind of emoji that let me know that you're getting it. And if you guys have any questions, questions are good, because we will work with some people and get everybody clear. And I mean that everybody clear. It's not that I'm some magical scientist who can fix every problem. There's some simple principles that we all, and what's the word all, every one of us abide by unknowingly, most of it, 99.9% of the time, we don't even know we're doing it. But once you understand those underlying principles, the truth with a capital T, then everything gets simple from there. Are you with me so far? So today I'm going to show you some principles, but underneath some simple principles and understanding is what's called truth. And I'm recommending you guys become seekers of truth. Now, I did this a long time ago. So let me tell you a little bit. I'm not sure who's on the call or exactly. I don't know everybody, maybe personally. So if I may indulge a little of my background. Some of you have heard it 100 times. I've told it 10,000 times, so bear with me. So without going into a lot of details, how I learned all this stuff over the last 50 plus 12 years, 48 plus 12 years. So you can do the math on that. 48 years ago, I was about 12 years old. So I was born in the Valley here. I'm in Santa Cruz now, born in the Valley. Back then it was poor. It wasn't wealthy. It was a poor area. So we grew up really poor. 6 kids, no dad, small house, poverty. Government paid for our housing, what do you call it, Section 8 now, and food stamps, really poor. So I grew up with this kind of a desire to know, like, I got to get my life together. I can't grow up living like this. And I had extreme drive to do that, but I didn't know how. And very fortunately, had some failures in my life, got into some bad stuff at about 20 after high school, my first year of wrestling in college. I had a horrible season, and I just kind of gave up and depressed, and I moved back home, and it just kind of ugly for a year. So partying, staying up all night. It was just ugly. I had an ugly year, and I didn't know what I wanted to do. But I was searching for something. I didn't know what, but this is getting bad. So depressed and frustrated and didn't know what I'm going to do with my life. My girlfriend at the time had an opportunity. She went to Japan as a dancer and a choreographer, and she's going, you got to come over. You're going to love it. So here I'm 21 years old and 21. And I said, well, got nothing else going on in my life. I think I'll go to Japan. My brother took me to a sushi shop here in Mobo Sushi, and I went to one bite of sushi, and I said, I'm moving to wherever they make this stuff. I'm moving there. This is good shit, man. And I took one bite of sushi, and I said, oh, this is what they eat? In my mind, that's what they eat 7 days a week. Not true. That's what I'm going to do. I can eat this every day. So I went over there, idea for a summer, and I, done some martial arts. So I had my gi and everything. I got beat up. Okay, my first month, I broke my jaw. Welcome to Japan, right, boy? I broke my jaw, and that wasn't pretty. Had it wired up. Didn't eat for 25 days or whatever. It's a great way to lose 20 pounds, by the way. Try it. Not a great way, actually. Can you let the person? And so more coming in. Thank you and welcome. Okay, so broke my jaw. And I learned how to talk with my teeth closed. Couldn't eat. Long and short of it, I decided I'm going to beat that guy who knocked me out, man. I'm going to beat him, right? So I thought, I'm going to move here. I'm living here in this country, Japan, for a year. I'm going to beat that guy up in a year. Well, a year later, I was like a green belt. And he was still a black belt, Kobe City, where I live, Kobe, Japan champion. So I didn't beat him up. 2 years later, 3 years later, I ended up staying 4 years. After 4 years, I really stumbled. This is how I stumbled across it, through bad times. It hit me that I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And the masters kept talking about energy. By the way, when I moved over there, I had over 100 masters I was training under. It was a very strange karate organization of masters and schools all around the world. The headmaster was in Japan, so it was great. Got to train with him. One of the guys, my mentor, was a Canadian man. He was a very high-level, mysterious man. His name was Alan. He was my mentor. He had over 100,000 students. 100. And he was the laziest laziest human being I ever met. Like, he'd always say, I don't do anything. He'd always joke, I don't do anything. Well, he had a bar and a beautiful wife. She was half Chinese, beautiful ex-model and beautiful kids. And he had this life, and he had this restaurant at 100,000. He had the largest karate organization in the world at that time. I'm like, how did you do it? He winked at me. He said, stick around. I'm like, okay. Stick around. He had this little funny, he'd take off his glasses. He'd like, oh, here's some glasses. He'd go like this. Stick around. He'd go, what the hell's that mean? I don't know. But at any rate, he'd say, I'll show you. And over the next 4 years, he showed me. And I went from starting to use this energy and vibration that we're going to share. I raised my energy, kind of not really knowing. And then I won a local tournament. I was like, wow. And he said, keep doing that, brother. Richie, he called me. And I did it again. And I woke that Kobe tournament where the guy knocked me out. I won that. That guy had retired. I took first place. Then I went on to the regional, won that. Then I went to the Western Japan. And here's this little horrible competitor in wrestling. And I won that, first place. And then I just kept winning everything I touched for the next couple. Ended up in the world championships a couple different times. Got a gold and the biggest one I got a silver, which pissed me off. But at any rate, no regrets there. 30 years. Anyway, so I learned how to vibration. And why I'm telling you is because you can do the same thing. You don't have to live in Japan for 12 years and eat sushi, which isn't bad, to learn how to do this. I'm going to show you in a minute how to do it. I'm going to show you if I can get through my story. I'm going to show you how to do it. But I do want you to understand the value of this because it didn't come lightly. I broke almost every bone in my body. I lived 12 years in a foreign country. It was a big, big, big sacrifice. I mean, sushi was great, but it was a sacrifice. But I did that to learn something. And I didn't exactly know how to apply it in life, but I came back to the States and I began to, after failure in my business, started a small home-based entrepreneurial venture. And failing at that, I said, well, I'm going to apply the same thing, this level 3. We didn't have a level for it, though, but this level of the void of consciousness to it. And I'll see how it goes, because I'm really struggling. I was making about $1,000 a month on average at the time, working 80 hours a week, really depressed, frustrated, living on my brother's couch. My income's like $1,000 or 600, 800 bucks, sorry. And I'm paying him rent 600. I got 200 to live on for food and clothes, everything. It's just like life wasn't that great. But I just kept focusing. I knew I'd made the investment. 12 years in Japan, I'd made the investment in myself. Why isn't it working out? And then I stumbled across something. And it was very simple. I'm going to use that understanding towards business and see what happens. I have no idea what's going to happen. I could probably go bankrupt. I don't even care. So I use this level of consciousness towards that. And miraculously, like within a few days, people started showing up. I'd bump synchronicities. How many of you have synchronicities in your life? All right. Yeah. Or things show up. And that started happening. And it's cool when you get synchronicities. Oh, I thought of you, Bobby. And haven't seen you since high school. I thought of you and you see him in town. Great. But it's even cooler when you have a synchronicity when someone goes, hey, I was thinking about that business you told me about and I didn't like. I'm ready to join. What? Oh, okay. Really? That's cool. When they start coming to you, you become like a magnet. And when they come to you, that's really cool. You're reaching out to people. They're loving it. They're coming to you. They're loving it. This exchange happens. And pretty soon, I went from a little broke guy to making about 20 grand a month. Okay, you can live. I never made that in my life. And it was cool. So now I got a life. I got a car and toys. And, I ended up, the woman I was dating at the time, married her, Japanese gal, brought her over here, bought a house about a half a mile from where I was living with my brothers. $500,000 house, a brand new home. Got a Range Rover, a Mercedes, and a BMW, and just all the toys and all that kind of stuff. And it was great. Within about a year and a half, I was making close to 100 grand a month. But the cool thing is, it was coming in every month. And that was 30 years ago, guys. Do the math on that, okay? So 8 figures, 7 figures? I don't know, a lot of figures. So a lot of money coming in every month. And then I kind of got fat. I mean, I just started enjoying life and traveling and having a great time and started sharing this. But the thing is, guys, I didn't share this to anybody because it was just my experience. I only shared it with inner circle people because I didn't really know what the hell I was doing. It just worked for me, okay? But I didn't have it down to a system like I do now. So I had some people from Asia. They're struggling. One guy came over and I showed him this and he got clear in his head. And he went back and he 5-folded his income. He was going to broke. And he went to 5,000 to 25,000, 50 grand. And then he brought some other people, 20 or 30 people to come see me. And I met him in Utah and we did a little training. And I showed them this stuff, but they're Asian. They got it. They're like, oh, we got this stuff. Yeah, we understand that. oh, they had a little more background than the Westerners do, let's say that, but that's okay. We have the science now, and they didn't. So I showed it to some Asians, and they did it. And next thing you know, 20 people came back. Next thing they had a plane, literally 200 people on a plane came to meet me. And they all paid, I don't know, 3 or 4, 5 grand. And I'm like, what's that? That's $1 million to meet me. I'm like, whoa, okay. And all I could do was show them this business I'm doing and show them the mindset I'd learned and see what happened. But they went back and created the largest sales organization in the history of that company. I don't know, 6 million a month in sales or something. So like it's done hundreds of millions. I don't even know, maybe $1 billion. I lost count, but anyway, it worked. So like, this is awesome. But I only told those people. I didn't do it. And the first time I shared what I'm going to share with you guys. So to wrap it up is that this whole thing I learned in Asia from the masters I thought was just great for karate and doing magical things and breaking boards and winning championships and being cool, I guess. I didn't translate it to success in life and every other area, which finally I figured out, I think this thing works everywhere. So I demonstrated about 15 years ago to a group here in California. It was a guy doing personal growth. He had 240 people there. They'd already paid 4 or 5 grand to get there. And he said, Richie, he knew me, my story. He said, you're kind of doing what I'm teaching people, but you're doing it to a super level. I said, well, it's the Asian level. They're going to the top. He said, can you show it? I said, yeah, I'll show it. So I demonstrated it, just what I knew. No plan, no script, no nothing. I just demonstrated it. And these guys were there for a week, and they were like, oh my God. Now we did this 11 to 12, okay? And the guy said, okay, we're gonna have a break. Anybody wants to stay and with Richie, he called Richie, and stay for lunch, but those you get lunchtime, get out of here. Nobody left. I'm like, did he hear that? You guys can go eat. And they're like, no, we want to hear more of this. I go, oh God, really? I mean, I literally didn't know. I told you what I know. Like, we want to do it again. Yeah, okay, I'll do it again. Next thing you know, I said, okay, do you guys like this? Oh my God. The fire marshal was there, kind of thing, It's like we're filling up rooms. So we had to, anyway, it went crazy. The 40 people went crazy. And I said, do you guys want to do a course? And the guy sitting in the back, it's his course, okay? I said, hey, can I offer something? He goes, yeah, okay. Guys, I'm going to do a course with him. It's going to be in a beautiful location. I don't know where. It's going to be in the next couple months. It's going to be, I don't know, 3 grand, 4, I don't know. If it was 3 grand, how many go? Every hand went up. I said, oh my God. So I told the guy, you better get your cash register ready, bro. And so he told his staff, he said, get your pens ready. And I made an offer. I think I was $1,800. I made it up. They said, okay, anybody wants, we're going to give it to the public when we leave at this seminar here in Asilomar. And if you guys want to, learn how to do it. It's going to be a nice location, 4 or 5, I don't know where, in the next couple months. It's going to be 2 grand if you buy it today. It'll be like 4 grand if you buy it retail. I made the numbers up. And there was not a standing ovation, a running ovation. 200 people out of 240. What is that? A lot. They had $340,000 in sales. The guy had never done this in 35 years. He said, what the frick are you doing? I said, don't worry about it. And he said, but we don't have a location. I said, yeah, you got 340 grand. Find one. He goes, oh, okay, I'll find one. Okay, shit. You got money. Shut up. And I left. So a couple months later, we did the seminar, and same thing. There were 200, whatever, packed with the people. And I did it that year as the best-selling thing they'd ever done. We did it the next year. And the next year, my daughter was born, my little Vivi, my precious one, and I was doing this from Skype. Anybody remember Skype? And I'm like, oh, she's so cute. I'm here in Vail, Colorado. It's a 40-hour seminar. No notes. Are you hearing me? I had not one piece of note, not one written piece of paper, and it was a 40-hour seminar. How I did it, I have no idea. It just was doing this basic stuff that I'm sharing with you guys. And people are flying. Ed was there. Wait, Ed, you were there in Vail, right?
I was there. That was a big group. We were
you
probably
sitting.
Just the first one.
Okay.
We probably sat 4 rows deep in a big circle. Big rectangle.
Was crazy. Was that fun?
It was. Learned a lot.
And then you searched me out after 12 years. But Ed, I
That's
don't know if
right.
you know this, but you did it. I did it one more year, and then I was doing the Skype with my daughter. I'm like, I have a kid. I'd rather be with. Screw this. And I said to the guy, I said, I'm not doing it anymore. I quit. And he's like, you quit? Oh, why? Because that's not fun. I want to do it, hang out with my daughter. And I quit. And I never did a formal one ever. That was when she's 14. That was 14, 13 years ago. Okay? And I never did a one formally, professionally again, other than small groups. So, but I want to share that with you guys today. I just started sharing a little bit. And why? Because she's 14 now, and I've shared it with her. Right? I'm like, hey, you want to know something, honey? Where I made all my money and Dad did all this? Yeah. And I showed her, and she's like, she became miraculous, magical. Her life. This is a 14-year-old. Her life is magical. This thing cost me $2,000 the other day because I showed my daughter how to do this, and she wanted a little e-bike. She wanted an e-bike. You're 14 now. And they're like $2,000 or $3,000. I don't know. They're a lot. $2,000. And I said, no, let me think. I don't want to spoil her. So we thought, give her a little, make her work a little bit. So for months, my wife and I are like, no. She's like, but Mom, look online. Mom, Dad. No, we're not going to. They're dangerous. No, I'm not. Then one day, after 6 months, she said, oh, I heard Susanna starting to order it. She's ordering. Well, we hadn't decided. Oh, shit. I said, Vivi, get in here. I'm in the, when? I go, what did you do? She goes, I did it, Dad. Ha, ha, ha. It works really well. The day she did what I'm going to show you, the moment she did it, I said, did you do that today? She goes, yes. Because I thought I'm going to buy her that bike. And my wife, we're buying her the bike. And we told her no for 6 months. Buying her the damn bike. How would you like that where people throwing money and things to you? How many guys would like that? Double. Thank you, Ed. I know you're moving around. I appreciate you getting on, Ed. And 14 years later, he's back doing this, but we've evolved it a lot, about 100-fold. What I shared back then was about 10x. This is probably 100x, what I'm going to share with you today. So that's what happened. Yeah, so my daughter did it. My other daughter, there she is, Mary. Now she's using it, and she's using it for me. She's using it for money. She's using it for money's flowing in. And her and her spouse or her fiance were not doing it. It was bad. It was the end of the relationship. As soon as she clicked onto this, she had a freeing experience. She realized the truth with a capital T, of who she really is. All that crap flew out. And now everything she's touching turns to is abundant. Can she get on, Susanna? No, but can she talk? Okay. So before we go on, I want to show it to you, but I feel like I got, after 40 years, it deserves a little, 48, it deserves a little bit of, I can let that go. It deserves a little bit of grounding, right? A little bit of understanding. Are you guys cool with that? Because once you understand, this is very powerful. Once you understand it, it's so life-changing because what it is, it's you're tapping into who you really are. And it's based on those three principles right there: universal or divine mind, universal or divine consciousness. Can they see that? Yeah. Universal or divine thought. So mind, consciousness, and thought. Divine mind, consciousness, and we'll talk a little bit about that. What are those principles and how understanding those principles is how we're related. How we're designed, how the human experience happens. So it's underneath all this law of attraction, law of manifestation, law of vibration. What's underneath all of that? There's these three principles that are underneath all. And once you understand what's underneath all of them, you have a true understanding. Good or good? Mary, you there?
Hi, I'm here. Sorry, I'm a little cold right now, so I might not be 100%.
Are you worried about it?
No.
Do you care?
No.
Do you care about anything anymore?
No. Well, yes and no.
Good answer. So your relationship was very, I don't want to get it, pretty toxic. The two of you were like, oh my God.
Yeah, it was very
on your
argumentative.
What's that?
It was very argumentative all the time.
To put that mildly, okay. So, and money was not coming in. And what was your state of mind before? By the way, Mary's been around this a little bit, guys. So people say, well, I've been around this. I've read law of attraction. I read Esther Hicks thing, and I've done this thing and that thing. I'm like, I'm sorry, I've done 7-day retreats, for 30 of them, I think, 7-day intensive letting go retreats. I've done tremendous, done this in America, Europe, Brazil, Australia, all around the world. And very few people understood this level. It's usually a light level of hold in mind what you want kind of thing, law of attraction. Mary's been around this for decades and been around it. Mary, would that be true? You've been around it for...
Oh, yes, a long time, probably since, 13 to 15 years old.
And now you're so 15, 18 years. And then, but then you decided to take the course and get serious. Like, okay, I got to make the leap. This is not getting any better. You're living here now instead of with your fiance. You're back here with your kid. Your base kind of became a single mom. Money and everything was a challenge, right?
Yeah, not who I had pictured myself being at 32.
And you decided, but the key thing is you've been, like Ed, you've been around this stuff. A lot of people have been around this and they think that, oh yeah, I've been around long. And I say, you don't know shit. This is not the law of attraction. This is not the law of manifestation. This is way beyond that. This is beyond something that the mind cannot comprehend because it's outside. Divine mind is something none of us can understand. We can experience it. We can feel it, but we can't really understand it with our mind. It's going to the level of unity and oneness with the universe. And when you're at that level, you're vibrating there, it kind of has to yield its toys and its secrets. And so, Mary, you've been around this, right? But what shifted for you? You finally took the last course we did, 6 or 8 week course. And about halfway through, what happened to you? You had an insight or an understanding, or?
Yeah, it was more just, I was so frustrated with everything that I just kind of threw in the rag. I was just like, I give up. I give up all control. I surrender everything. Like I know what I don't want. What do I want? So I got really clear on what I wanted, which was, my family together, to be abundant, healthy, thriving. I just focused on that and I let go of how to get there, because I realized I was trying so much to control how it was happening, and that was making me depressed because it wasn't working out the way that I wanted to. So I was like, okay, screw it, throw it all to the wind, give it to God, higher power, whatever you want to call it. I just chose to surrender and give up control, because I realized I had been trying to control everything in my life for so long.
And how's it working out?
Oh, it's great now. It's very freeing. Very, very peaceful. It takes a lot of the fear out of everything, because really the root cause of most of this is fear. Will I survive? Will I be able to get through this? And you let go of that and just trust that it will. Trust that you are perfect the way that you are, and you will get what you need and deserve. And that's can't be scary, but that's the secret sauce, I feel.
Right. And so things are working out money-wise, relationship-wise, health-wise? How about health?
Health-wise, yeah. I mean, I'm not, other than a little cold, which I kind of knew was going to happen anyways. I'm great. Yeah, everything feels very flowy. There's not much resistance.
And your goals, how do you feel about meeting your goals in the future, now and in the future? How do you feel about them?
Oh, great. They're already met. To a certain extent, yeah.
How about fear of the future?
It's not a matter of when. It's just I know they're met, and it'll happen when it's meant to happen.
And how about fear of the future?
No fear.
No.
More excitement, if anything.
And so when you say letting go and all that, was it really that hard work, or was it more like an insight or an understanding? Or was it hard work?
It wasn't hard. Well, I felt like hard work until I made a decision to just stop it all. That was the easy part.
So it's sort of like, use the parachute example, like I decided to go parachuting when I made the decision. Okay, so you buy the ticket and you get up there at the tent and you got a guy in your back kind of deal. And you go to the thing and you get on, they pay the thing and you get up there and whatever, 10,000 feet. You made a decision to go, right? I'm going to do this. And then to be honest, I looked and went, it's a long way down and I hope this guy hasn't been drinking on my back. and I hope he knows what I'm doing. And I hope they pack my thing. And this is a perfectly good airplane. Like, what am I doing jumping? I had second thoughts. And the guy, he could see, he's done it, obviously. I was looking around at the plane, I guess, and he grabbed my head from behind. He strapped to your back, and he goes, don't do that. I'm like, nope, you're going to jump. I go, oh, okay. And I jumped. But there's a little bit of jump. Is the parachute going to open, right, Mary? A little bit of, oh. Did you have any of that?
Yes, exactly.
And so that's why it helps to have mentoring and coaching, I think, because, you got someone strapped on your back, a little ex-Navy SEAL helping you out. Doesn't hurt, right?
Yeah, you realize what you're doing isn't working out. So, what do I have to lose to try something different?
Awesome. So you feel freer than ever. But thank you, Mary, honey. Okay.
Yeah, of course.
Hey, Rich, it's Ed.
Yeah.
What I would share is the last, since I've been doing the course the last 4 or 5 weeks, the Freedom Shift course, I've been having like a different, we've talked about the thought bubble and the thought feeling bubble. And that was, like you said, there's probably 1 in 1,000 people that understand like what that is. And that's just so eye opening. But the other thing is I've started to live in what for other people, I guess would be the future. I've started to look at like the 3D reality around me as like, these were my thoughts and feelings like yesterday or in the past that I'm seeing now, but I see everything I look at now, I'm living in my kind of what other people would think is my future. I'm living in that now, even though I can't see it yet. They can't see it yet, but they're going to see it soon. And when it shows up, I don't really care because I'm already kind of experiencing it. So that right there is like just huge. The whole thing of being in the state where you're not waiting for it to show up in this 3D reality before you have the enjoyment of what it would feel like to have it. So I feel like everything I'm doing now, I'm like, whatever I see around me, I like, it's not that I deny it, it's there, but I ignore it because I know that was yesterday's thoughts and feelings. Wait till everybody sees what's coming. So anyway.
Yeah. Well, there's no anyway, Ed. There's no anyway. That's huge. So thank you, Ed, very much. And
welcome to share.
Yeah, welcome back. So Ed, you just finished a course. I think we finished recently. Was that different than the Less Rising we did 12 years ago?
Well, what made it in my thoughts and words more powerful was the Less Rising is obviously awesome. But there's a difference between letting something go and never thinking about it again. And then there's a difference of letting go of the timing and the how, knowing I've already got it. So when it shows up in 3D reality is whenever it shows up. It doesn't really concern me. I'm enjoying it now. But then remaining in the state. So the difference to me was what I wasn't doing with the original Lester Rising and the release technique is just remaining in the state of the person who already has what I made a decision to have now. Yeah. And that's been the big difference is the remaining in the state. You called it praying without ceasing, which is in the Bible. It's remaining in that state. So I'm not letting it go and never thinking about it. I'm just remaining in the state, not thinking about the timing or the how, because it's irrelevant to me at this point, knowing I'm already enjoying the feeling. So that's been the big difference.
Huge. Okay. Thank you, Ed. So it's talking about getting to this level, but thinking and feeling, right, Ed? And then moving into the behavior, the action. That's staying in the state, the action, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. People think of action, it has to do all this stuff. Just the action, physical action, how you behave, how you act on a regular basis. You become the change you want to see. Thank you, Ed. Hey, Rachel.
How are you?
I'm good. Very good to see you.
You too. So I just wanted to say, and I think I brought this up on the other course that we've taken, and which is amazing. The ability to know that something's coming, rather than to say, oh, I hope this happens, or, going into that level 1, 2, getting to the 3, 4, like I needed money for, Christmas gifts and everything. And to pay for the course, and just, need money. And I always knew it was there. And I'm like, where the heck is it? I know it's somewhere. Where did I put it? Is it in this account? No, it's not there. I knew it was coming. And then it came. It always comes. Like, there was something I wanted to do for one of my daughters, and I'm like, oh, it's pretty expensive. And then I get a bonus at work. And it's just, there's always something, because it's there. Even though you don't completely have it yet, you have it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. You have it internally. It's an internal experience. Maybe you don't have it in, as Ed calls it, the 3D world, but in the 4D inside, it's there. And you're at the doneness of it. So yeah, you're feeling it inside, which is, thank you, Rachel. Yeah, I'll unpack that a little bit. So, and Rachel, congratulations. You got house and kids and jobs and all kinds of stuff going on. And you actually, if I may say, you were the budget thing, you're like, oh my God, but you were so serious. You're like, I'm going to find the money. Like, if I have to put in can I share that a little bit? Not too much.
Absolutely.
Okay.
100%.
But I've been there too. Like, I don't have any money. Years ago when I first started, I had no money. Then like $5, bank account, zero, minus. So that was me many years ago, but so not like that, but putting on multiple cards and saying, maybe I could loan from this thing, however. And I don't know, I don't pay attention, but my wife said, Rachel came through the money. I said, Rachel, really? She said she said she was going to do it. Okay. So our first course, I gave you the free session with me. And how was that commitment for me? Was that good? I mean, was it helpful?
Yeah. I've never seen somebody so committed to helping and to making sure to be present for somebody else. Amazing.
So, but the match that commit, because it's at that time in my life where I want to, it's kind of time to give back, So thank you, Rachel. And did you get to the fourth one, or was it the fifth one, or?
No, I came in this morning, couldn't do it, so I'm going to watch it right after this.
You haven't even finished the course and you're doing amazing. No, it's already amazing. And you didn't even finish it. You get, because some of it's downloadable, right? And then you have me for questions, as I said. Okay. Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Mary, somebody else? Okay, cool.
Good morning, Rich and Susanna and everyone on the call. It's Jocelyn.
Jocelyn?
Can you hear me? Jocelyn, I know.
It's San Jose.
Blast from the past. I always remember I was pregnant when I met you both. That was almost 17 years. Well, it was 17 years ago, because I was 30 then and I'm 47 now. And what a different place in life I am. You guys are incredible. Can't say enough. You've helped me not only with career and just getting out of my own head, but a lot of help with situations that occurred in my life that I really had to release control of, right? So very powerful what you teach and what you provide and what you give as a gift. And I just wanted to say thank you and say hi.
Hi, Jocelyn. Jocelyn, you haven't done the new stuff, though. Ask Amy or something. You haven't even done the new stuff. You're talking about.
It's already been done. It's already been done.
It's already done. Yeah.
It's funny. Those of us that work in corporate, everyone has to do their goal planning for 2025. And I had some 18-page PowerPoint I had to fill out and a goal sheet that was, a year planning of marketing. And I got on the call with my VP and I said, we're in the matrix. It's already done. This is not how I do goals. We've already accomplished everything. My boss said, okay.
Wow. Sweet.
And I want to say I just closed $5 million. So it really is. It really does take what Mary was saying, letting go of the control. And for me, that was the hardest part. And I remember Susanna asking, why do you need control? And if you can get to that, figure out that why and really let that go, it all does come to you.
Yeah. And we're going to show, thank you, Jocelyn. Welcome back. I love when people haven't seen them, they're coming back, they hear about it, and they want to know what's new, what's exciting. So congratulations on your success, Jocelyn. $5 million deal.
Thank
That's
you.
what starts to happen is flow. It's already done. You get to the doneness. Oh, so cool. Boy, I got so excited for you guys. I got distracted. Where was I, Suzanne? Oh, testimonials, and yeah, congratulations, Leanne. Okay, cool. Yeah, and Jocelyn, it is that commitment or that definite commitment to the commission. It is a definite decision, like Rachel. If it's the money, a lot of people it's the money, or it's the time. And I've had people, when if it's not the money, they're like, I need to think about it. Can I finance it? And I say no. My sister-in-law one time, can I finance it? I said no. You got to prepay. And she goes, why are you doing that? A couple of days later, she called a friend. She said, thank you. And I said, well, why was that? She goes, because I had to think about it. If I'm going to pay something, I invest. I got to think, do I really want to do this? So it's sometimes the investment or the transformation or the transaction is like the transformation in that decision. Does that make sense? And for Mary, it wasn't. She's my daughter, but I just. So it's a decision. And the good news is it is a decision, but you are like the jailer and the prisoner at the same time. You're in prison of your own mind, but you also have the key. You're the jailer, and you can reach around and let yourself out at any time through a simple or total unconditional commitment or decision, an intention. That's it. That's why we do these courses, because people make a decision, and I've had people make a decision not start the course for a month because they're busy. Okay. They said, but during the month, I was busy doing traveling or whatever. So many things happen. Like this started happening, this flowed. I met this person and money came in. I just made the decision. I haven't done your course. And also from that decision, it's like the universe, this providence moves too, if you will. Divine. How many of you guys would love to have divine providence, universal mind, as your friend, your best friend? And be able congratulations. Yeah, thank you. So, Susanna, I think we could talk about the 4 levels or the 3 principles, because that's all I got today. So what we're going to talk about these 4 levels, and this is very important because everything is a level of consciousness or a level of energy, if you will. What I've discovered are these levels of consciousness or understanding, and it's like the journey of the soul, right? And we're all going on this journey together. So what I'm going to offer you guys in a little bit, I'm going to offer something, and it won't be long. If you guys like what you're hearing, I will offer you, but it's going to be a limited offer. It's the first time I've ever done it, and I think you're going to love it. And I'll just give you an offer, and it makes sense. And if it doesn't, for some of you, it doesn't make sense. If you're ready for the commitment, it's going to make a lot of sense. If you're ready to change everything, it's going to make a lot of sense. Okay, so what are these levels we talk about? 1, 2, 3, 4. These are levels of understanding, if you will, levels of consciousness as we raise up, okay? And the journey of the soul, most people go through this journey. And the lowest is this victim, this stuck, helpless. Okay, that's level 1. And supposed to say to me. And things are happening to me. That's supposed to say to. Erase my grandson. Things are happening to me. I'm a victim. Things outside are coming to me. Circumstances, people. There's nothing I can do. Poor me. It's a very low level of energy. It's sucking your thumb. It's kind of a helplessness and a very stuck place. And so what people do is they move hopefully from victim to empowered. Okay? And empowered is where it's coming from me. I'm making my goals. I'm doing my thing. How many can relate to that? You got affirmations and goals, and read the 17 steps every day, and you have the chart on the wall, and you look at your mirror and you tell yourself how much you love yourself 30 times a day, and all that stuff. Controlling the outcome, and you have candles and all kinds of bowls, singing bowls, and dolphins and flutes, and all the things you do. Okay, there's 1,000 things that people do to get themselves to feel better in a better state. Okay. The problem with the empowered, it's very good, but the main thing I look familiar, control. The main thing of that is control. Okay. And this is marked with ego. And it's a lot of stress. It's a lot of hustle. It's grinding it out. It's not very satisfying level to be. Some people here even get a lot of their goals, but they're not very happy, struggling, stress. And they're constantly getting new goals, new situations, new relationships. I'll be happy when. So this is put all your goals in the future. And this is kind of I will be. Oh, here we go. I will be. This is I am. And I am, I'm a piece of crap. I'm worthless. Okay? That's victim. Number 2, it's from me. It's empowered. It's to be. It's up to me. I will not be denied. It's a little happier. You get some goals, but they're usually, it's the old climbing up the top of the ladder and you realize I got to the top. I just was climbing the wrong ladder. Okay? So goals can be a little bit deflating. Even if you get them, they're not that satisfying because they're not purpose. They're ego driven and they're great. They're a stepping stone. Up here, level 3 is creator. It's happening through me. You're a conduit, if you will, for a greater power of force, that universal principle, that universal mind, that intuitive wants to come through, that goal. So this is more purpose driven. This is ego driven. Okay. And this is what we'll call level 2 to level 3. So a lot of what you're doing here is going from level 2 to 3, and we're going to deal with that 2 to 3, 2 to 3 all day long. Okay. And that's I am that. And the level 4 is peace. That's the being. That's as me. And that's in the Bible they talk about the peace. The peace that passeth all understanding. They didn't call Jesus the Prince of creation, the Prince of abundance, and the Prince of, well, it was abundance, the Prince of gratitude. They called him the Prince of Peace. Because the Bible is about peace, reaching that place that's beyond understanding. From here, all limits, there are no limits, all things are possible. Every impossible, no matter how impossible, becomes immediately possible when you're in this state. I'm not saying it's easy, and I'm not saying exactly what you want to do. When you get in that state, you forget about it, and it either happens miraculously or you don't care anymore. You know that's not for me, and you move on. But it's instant. This is the place of miracles and magic. Cool. When I was a kid, I was obsessed with this. I'll just go back a little bit. I was obsessed with this. What is this place? When my dad first told me, when I watched Kung Fu movie, the little old guy, that Kung Fu, David Carradine, he came to America and he could fight 5 guys. Like, how does he do that? He was just a movie. But in my mind, it was the Shaolin Temple. How did he do that? Well, many years later, I studied the art that came from Shaolin to Okinawa to Japan. I studied that very art of what he was doing. I had no idea that I was studying the same art that I watched David Carradine at 5 years old doing. It was the same understanding. So that magic was cool. It turned into miracles. And that's what we're going to offer you. How many guys would love to be more magical and create magic in your life? Real magic. Do you know that magic, when I was a kid, I loved magic, right? Hand magic, card magic, coin magic, that kind of stuff. But did you know that magic was considered bad and evil? Until a few hundred years ago, you were an outcast. Only the elites knew that the magi, the elite, the priest, had the secrets. And magic in ancient Egypt, way back thousands of years ago, magic was just energy. Magi, the people who understood energy. And now 5,000 years later, science is saying, like Tesla, the secret of the universe, energy, vibration, frequency. All you have to do, and we're going to do it right now, you have to move to the level of your goal. You just have to move to the frequency of your goal. I can't call you unless I know your frequency. Give me your frequency. Call the telephone number. Nope, not that one. Let me try another one. Let me call Rachel. Nope. I could sit there for 4 years and push number after number, never connect with her until she says, oh, my number, my frequency is bubble. Oh, boom. And we're talking because this thing is frequency and energy. It's vibrate. It's frequency. And it's lined up with the exact frequency of Rachel or whoever I'm calling. And there's no other way to make that connection. And every goal you have in life, whether it's health or wealth or relationships, as Mary talked about, money, health, wealth, happiness, toys, whatever it is, they're all at a vibration. And when you're wanting something, you're not at the level of vibration. So anybody have any questions about these 4 levels? Yeah, so the whole thing behind all this, I've never done this before, but I'm going to write something down here. Guys, I don't know if I can do this, but I'm going to try. What's under all this is divine mind, M-I-N-D. Divine, or universal divine mind. That's the energy flowing all of this. Every step up here, every step, thoughts, feelings, actions, getting your results, change your self-image, all of it's here. This is controlling the whole thing. This is the whiteboard, the infinite intelligence behind all of that. So these are all cool. And in our course, we show you how to move from here, and then move up in consciousness, and you move here to your goals until you become magical, all that. But really the secret is divine mind. That's the whole thing. When you understand that, and also that's that one universal mind, the energy and information and intelligence and wisdom of the universe, of time, space, and dimension, that energy behind worlds, that source energy is what's going through all of us. It's going through everything. Everything's energy. Put this under a microscope and they'll show that there's energy. It's moving. It's vibrating. You can't see it, but it is vibrating. Everything is energy. And when you match to that level of vibration by universal law, it's law. You have to have it. If I drop a pen, there's called gravity, right? Drop a pen. It's a law. It has to happen. So far, it has to happen. And you learn that. When you learn these laws, the law of being, and you understand it, your goals have to happen because you're vibrating at the level, as Ed said. And the beauty of it, you don't care. Like Mary, you're cool. If it happens or not, I'm happy either way. And because you're happy either way and you're not in lack and needing it, it pops into your experience. Okay? The power of that paradox, the Prince of Peace. You become the Prince of Peace and you exuberate that power of that paradox, which is when you want something and okay with it and detached, it happens. It's the secret to all this. That's what Mary's talking about. And that is what my friend Ed's talking about. I see it so clearly in my mind. I feel it, vibration. I am it now. I'm it. And then you kind of feel so great about it that you almost don't care that it happens. And when you don't care, the miracles start to happen. Meaning you don't care, meaning you're okay either way. I'm okay with the goal and I'm okay without it. You become bigger than the goal.
Can I ask a question?
And I want to take a little break. And Rachel, you have a question? Great.
Just a quick one. So when you're saying you don't care, it happens, it doesn't happen. When the whole thing of manifesting money comes into it, since I already know I have it, is that me saying, okay, whether it happens or it doesn't happen because I know it's happening? Does that make sense?
It does. No, this is a great question, Rachel, because this is a paradox. They're not diametrically opposed. They seem like they are. Wanting something and not giving a crap. What the heck does that mean? Right? It's truly surrender, let go, let God, or surrender. So what is likely to happen? More likely, Rachel, if your ego mind tries to fix it or God fixes it?
God fixes it.
Yeah. Sorry, you can't undo that deal. You can't improve on that one. Sorry. I know we try. Our ego gets involved, and ego is another word for ego, edging God out. Right? Right? That's down here. We're egoing it, edging God out. And as we begin to bring God or consciousness, beingness, the oneness, we experience this. And the goals just begin to happen. It's not that you don't care like you hate them. It's like you're okay either way. But as a feeling, do you have a feeling like the money's going to come?
I have a feeling that it's there. I just can't remember where it is, kind of thing. Like, I know I have it. Where the heck is it? Like, it's here.
So one of the most important things we do, I call it reminding. What this is doing, guys, what I'm doing now, I'm not teaching any secret that I know or I'm so, You know, I'm a very high level black belt master, but that doesn't mean anything. It just means I'm good at kung fu. But everybody has access to this because it's who you really are. You already have divine mind, infinite intelligence running through you. What's that? Oh, my wife wanted to say, it grew you as a baby. That's what a mother would say. Okay. So this infinite intelligence running through you, and when you get less emotions about it, it begins to show up. So Rachel, when you have the feeling that you have it, and then you let it go, right? Could you let go
because
wanting it?
I'm calm because I'm not like, oh my gosh, where is it? What am I going to do? I don't know where my money is. It always turns up. It'll be here. I'll figure it out later.
So Rachel, we could do a little perfect segue into a little bit of work with people. And Rachel, I'm going to do a little quick process with you.
Oh yeah, ready.
Sure. Yeah. And everybody follow along. Let's do money because that's always a good one. Think of a goal. So Rachel, I'll work with you, but everybody think of a goal you'd like to achieve. Now, what you're going to notice, very important. So what you're going to notice is this is levels of energy, consciousness, victim 2, 3, 4, theoretically. And these are lines. They just represent frequency. It's all energy and vibration, and there's levels of frequency. Right? That's all. So when you have a goal here, it's a wanting, right? Can you see that? You're wanting it. And you move up to a vibration of having it. Here's wanting it. Now, which is more powerful in vibration and energy? Wanting it? Lacking it? By the way, when you tell yourself you're wanting it, what are you telling yourself? That you have it or don't have it?
You don't have it.
Khyle, good job. You don't have it. So low vibe. When you tell yourself or feel that you have it, which is higher, more energy? Having it or lacking it?
Having it.
Obviously, having it. Same goal, higher vibration. Ed was talking about moving your goals to this having, to the feeling it as yours now. See it, feel it, taste it, possess it, own it as yours now. You're not seeing its will-be-ness. Here, you're moving into you're moving into the consciousness of having it now. You raise your vibration. That's all you're doing. Okay? And today we're going to go through goals. We're going to take our goals, which is goals or problems, and we're going to move from level 2, that's that empowered, putting it off in the future, to level 3, which is seeing it now. Level 2 is lacking it. Level 2 is hustle and grind. I'm going to make my goal, make it happen. I got to make more money. I got to work harder. I got to do all these things. I got to do all this stuff so I can do all this stuff so I can have the toy so I can be happy. And we're going to flip that around by being happy first. Not, again, one more time. I'm going to do all the things so I can have the toys so I can be happy. And that doesn't work out too well for 99.99999% of the population. Do it so I can have it, so I can be and feel happy. Here, we're going to be it. We're going to be the change. I'm going to be it, see it, feel it, taste it, possess it, mine now. I'm going to be it, own it. First, be. Then I'll do the right things. I'm going to be it. Then I'll do the right things, and I'll get the results with ease. You with me? So we're going to take all your goals and problems. This is what I started this whole thing, the idea. Check the time. The idea was have everybody show you how to go from level 2 or 1 and 2, problems, challenges, goals, wants, desires. Show you how to take all your goals and desires and lacking them, which is in the beginning, to move them up to having them. You're going to move from wanting to having. And if you think that's a small thing, you are mistaken. People go, well, why would I want to learn that? Let me tell you, this is the most powerful freaking thing. Second to this. This is the most powerful thing. This is the most powerful force in the universe. It's called the universe. So it is the most powerful. And when you learn to become one with the universe, self-defense, we learn self-defense. But who can attack the universe? If I'm one with the universe, who can attack me? I'm safe. Ultimate in self-defense. I'm defending a no self. No self, no problem. But I digress. No, I don't digress. I progress. Let me digress to this, level 3. So I got excited about that. And I saw Rachel like that, so I get all pumped up. Okay, so level 2 to 3, sorry. So how to go from level 2 to level 3. And I promise you guys that I'm going to show you. Now, I first saw this in Think and Grow Rich. My friend gave me this book. My friend, Dr. David Love. I don't know why he gave it to me, and he doesn't even remember giving it to me. But Farmers Going to Japan, I don't know why. He said, here. And I went, 20-year-old dumb shit. I went, oh, okay. I put it in my bag, and I carried this thing around for 12 years. It wasn't this book. I ruined the other one because I read it 4,000. I had it memorized. Think and Grow Rich, okay? I just want to be successful. And what I noticed in the very first chapter, thoughts are things. I'm going to read it very quickly. Thoughts are things. Napoleon Hill, 1920s, interviewed 500 of the most successful people at that time around the world, mostly Americans, successful inventors, politicians, presidents, CEOs of corporations. He was given a letter of introduction by Andrew Carnegie, one of the richest guy in the world, to meet all these people and write this book. And he told this kid, you got 20 years to do it. Will you do it? I'll give you the invitation to the most successful people that I know. And if you'll spend the next 20 years of your life writing this book, I'll hire you, but I'm not going to pay you. And he went, look at this man. He goes, yeah, I'll do it. He goes, okay, you're hired to write this book. It was 20 years of no pay to write this book. Let me tell you, the first thing he did, he interviewed Henry Ford. And here it is, guys. You think this little thing going from wanting to having, he told me this thing. I'm not talking about stuff. I'm talking about I read this decades ago. Here it is. Thoughts are things, okay? I'll shorten up. The impossible Ford V8 motor. Henry Ford decided to produce, he's a pretty well-known guy, V8 motor. He chose to build an engine with the entire 8 cylinders cast one block. He gave his engineers instructions. They couldn't do it. He said, they came back and said, it can't be done. He said, do it anyway. And they went, but it's impossible. He said, go ahead and stay on the job or you're fired. I'm making it short. He said, basically, stay on this job or you're fired. You're going to make an 8-cylinder. This is before an 8-cylinder was unheard of. He said, and then they came back. They said, it's impossible. And here's his answer. You ready? I love this. They said, it's impossible. Remember I said to you, not impossible. Nothing's impossible. He said, here it is. Go right ahead, said Ford. I want it, and I'll have it. I think he knew the secret. I want it, and I'll have it. I want it, and he's going to move up to I'm having it. And no impossibility was possible. He got his Ford. 6 months later, he got his V8, pardon me. Now let's read to the end of this book. What is all this about? Okay. When you understand this, you will be lifted. This is a long chapter, so let me read this quickly. Oh boy. He's talking about when you the understanding in this book. I'm going to sum it up because it's long. Understanding this book, he said, when you get to this understanding and connect with the cosmos, he called it cosmos, whatever. He said, you have a different understanding of the rest of the world, and you become almost like having a guardian angel. That's in 1925. It's almost like having a guardian angel at your beck and call that will warn you of impending dangers and alert you to potential opportunities. How many love the universe like having a metaphorical guardian angel that tells you, be careful, don't go out today, you're going to get shot, you're going to get in a car accident, take a left, don't go right, guiding you to avoid problems and to alert you of opportunities. How many would love that? That's what he was talking about in the book. Let's think and grow rich. First, I gave you the first chapter and the last chapter. Let me say something before I go on about the power of this. Have you guys heard of TED Talks? TED Talks is the most watched presentation. They take experts from 1980s originally. It came in Monterey, California. We can see it probably from the ocean. We're in Monterey, California, 30 minutes from here. TED Talks came about when a guy had an idea. Take Al Gore about the global warming and Tony Robbins' mindset and Oprah and Elon Musk. Take the most brilliant people on the planet and invite them to talk. But they only had 20 minutes. They called it TED Talk. They only had 20 minutes. So they had to take their 1-year course or 40 hours, 60-hour course and cram it into 20 minutes. Amazing. Guess what? The top 5 views in history. We're talking 70 million views. By the way, TED Talk's 100 million views a month right now. That's how popular it is. The top 5. Top 5. Number 1, Sir Ken Robinson. Creativity. Does school do schools kill creativity? I won't go into it, but he's showing that schools just cram us full of shit and ideas that we don't really need, and it cram us full. It's not wisdom. They're getting ideas and stuff, cram full of, and teachers and religious people and television crams us. Did you know that NASA did a study in the 60s when they're trying to get to the moon? They're looking for geniuses, and they formed a test, and to find out who was genius to get that dang thing to the moon, they wanted to hire the best and the brightest. They had a genius test. Did you know that 98% of kids at 5 years old could pass that test? I'm going to say it one more time. 98% could pass that freaking test. By the time they were 15, it went down like 40%. By the time they were 30 years old, only 2%, listen to this, 2% could pass that test. 2% could pass the test. When as a kid, 98% could pass. What the hell happened during those 20-something years? We got crammed full of so much crap. That's why this letting go, this undoing of all these beliefs and stuff we have, right? Of who we are, and when we get to the truth, capital T, truth of who we really are, all that flies out. From the high place, all that stuff flies out, guys. So why was I telling you that? Because the number one talk was that people want to know that what happened to me? What happened? What happened to what's happening to my kids? What's happening? So we learn to undo that. That's what this course, what it's about. So the second one was a guy called, it was Brene Brown, vulnerability. That was the highest energy they could find on the planet, was authenticity. More than love and anything. When they took the aura of someone who was authentic, that was the number one vibration they could find in the universe. When someone's being their true self. Number 2, authenticity. Number 3 was Simon Sinek on the why. Focus on the why. That was 44 million views or something. And guess what he said? I bought his course. This is a guy who's shy. He sits in the back of the room. He said, I'm not the guy in the front of the room. The number 3 watched TED Talk in history, 47 million views or something. And he said, I've never been trained on speaking. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And how did this become the top ever? And people Google, hire me, pay me millions of dollars to teach them how to speak. I've never taken a speech. I don't even know about speech. And how did he become the number 1 speaker? He said, let me tell you what my secret is. I bought his damn course for $400. I wish I didn't, because he said, here's my secret. Because I bought the course, $300. Here's my secret. Here. I don't want anything. I let go of wanting. I speak from my heart, my truth, and I don't care if anybody wants it. I don't want anybody's approval. I don't want anybody's love. I don't want anybody's handshake. I don't want anybody's clap. I don't want you to stand up. I don't care what you do. I'm here to tell you from my heart what I know and what's helped me. I want nothing from anybody. Nothing. He lives in a world he didn't know it. But when you want nothing, you live in a world of having. That's how he became, that was his secret. If you want to know my secret of speaking and all this and 30 and 40 million views, I don't want anything. You let go of wanting and move in a world of having. Is that powerful? Then there's the last one is Amy Cuddy. And what does she talk about? She's found that when people stand better and clearer, their physiology changes. They can change who they see themselves by how their power posture. These are the top 5, what we're talking about. In history, the people are the most interested in TED Talks in 40 years, 24, 30, whatever, 35 years. All of them had to do what we're talking about. Kind of important, guys. So I'm giving you the secret right now how to do it. Okay? So is that good, Susie? And then Marianne.
Sorry. I wanted to hear, because sometimes when you wait, the answers are just there. So I thought, I'll just wait and let him talk. I find this is good. I have experienced it myself in anything. However, I s- I have to be careful with not making a process out of this, which again involves my thinking. Like, yeah, I'm gonna now let go. I'm gonna let go. So all of it is mind, that's I think that is for me at least the most um I don't know, even thinking that it's challenging is a thought. So getting into that part um area out of my head, that is really uh for our thought, like little thought driven realities. That's for me at least, it's difficult, it's challenging,
Yeah. Okay.
but it with practice it comes, but it's like this trust. Just jump, do it. And then once you experience it once, then you say, oh man. So I find that is all of what you said right now, and I bet you do something in your course about that, or you is still the the thinking kicks in. Oh, okay, I'm
Okay,
gonna let
Marianne,
go now.
I love it. So, Marianne, can I work with you a little bit while everybody? Because just by the way, nobody does this but you. Nobody gets overhead in their thinking.
I know I'm
It's
unique.
the bane
Yeah.
of everybody's existence. By the way, Mary, if I asked right now, I know her answer. She goes, "That's gone. I see my thoughts. And I don't care." Khyle, you had an experience with your mind going quiet, right?
Yeah. Eventually,
Okay, it's cutting out, Khyle. Sorry, it's not coming in very good.
Yeah.
Okay. Khyle, he's far away. He's in New York. Come on, give him a break, guys. He's got to scream loud. So, Marianne, you're in Canada. What am I thinking? Khyle, if you get
Yeah,
that
but
thing, don't
I
worry
think
about it. So,
no,
Marianne,
New
what I'd
York
like you
is
to do, let's get that problem, that challenge, and move that. How would you feel? Let's move that in level 2 problem you have, challenge. How'd you feel if your mind was quiet and it wasn't a big deal,
quiet,
right?
peaceful. Yeah.
Okay, what else? Give me some words to describe.
Less
And what's
um
your, like Amy Cuddy, physiology? Sit how you're sitting now. Sit how you sit, right? Get your physiology there. Sit how you sit when you have what you want. Just sit and be that for a second if you would.
relaxed.
Yeah, relax.
Nothing on my shoulders really. Yeah.
Nothing on your shoulders. But you do have a good head on
Mm.
your shoulders, don't worry about
But I don't feel it right now, at least. It's just there.
it. And then this is a good timing. So we're going to move you like we did to Khyle from 3 to 4. When you think about the thought of having a quiet mind, totally peaceful, quiet mind, and the thought of having a noisy mind, what's in between those two thoughts?
Some space.
Space. Okay. Did everybody hear that? Space. Infinite intelligence. Space. Stillness. Is it quiet for you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I know it takes a long time. That was probably 30 seconds. And I'm working on speeding that up for you guys. That was supposed to be a joke, but nobody. Okay. You guys, that's the best I got. Laugh now. Okay. So that's the difference between spending about 5 years trying to get my mind quiet to be able to do it. And I don't know. Susanna can walk me through it in about 30 seconds or less. Complete quiet. And from that high place, that quiet, that's the quiet that has the ability to, I don't say knock out, but dissolve anything below it. All the level 3 goals you have goals in level 3, even you want them and you're in the having. But even in level 3 having, there's a little bit of acceptance. And it's okay if I have, There's a little bit of thought left, sometimes a little bit, not on everything. A little bit like Rachel's, there's a little bit of thought. Level 3, sometimes there's some thought left. Like Ed said, I don't think about it anymore. That's perfect. But for me, I still have a little, only when I completely surrender, like what happened to Marianne just now, there's no thoughts anymore. Oh, Kyle's coming in. Oh, okay, Kyle's back. How's that, Marianne?
That's good. Yeah. And it feels it's interesting because immediately little thoughts want to come in. Yeah, but you got to do something. And da, 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 da. But then when you realize that, you just let them go, right? But in itself, that space is like all knowing, maybe something like
All-knowing.
that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You feel all knowing, more quiet, stillness, more peace. Thank you for that, Marianne. Last week we had somebody like, she was so relaxed. She was like, this is someone, I can't quiet my mind. It's just things going, me. I got the quietest mind. We did this exercise. It took probably a minute, pretty long. Yeah. And that's okay because the body, sometimes there's so much going on, the body needs to rest. Sometimes getting a cold is cool. Body gets to rest. Rest your mind. So anything else, Susanna? Kyle, do you want to share real quick?
All right. I guess a class or two ago, I had a 3-minute session, if that, with Susanna. It was in reference to working real quick, where I was overworked, underpaid, and angry. And I was also trying to get to a place of peace, control, and taking total responsibility for my situation. So Susan said, "Okay, I want to work with you for a second." She said, "Okay, you feel the anger. Okay, now you feel the empowerment or the strength or the responsibility." She said, "What's in between?" I said, "Okay, well, what do you mean?" I said, "Okay, nothing's between." The conscious mind still couldn't grasp it, but the subconscious mind erased all of the anger. There's no more energy on this subject. And that happened within a moment. I'm still amazed. Thank you.
Thank you, Kyle. Beautiful. So again, solving all your problems from that, and Kyle got into that peace or that oneness, freedom up here. It took less than a minute, as he said, 30 seconds. And from there, from the high place, all thing below starts to just release. I mean, you guys, if you did the release other things together with me, it was like hundreds of hours. I would have had to give Kyle about 2 weeks of homework in the past, and he'd have to sit there for an hour or two a day. I did it every day, like hours a day. Get a partner. I'm going to meet every day for a couple of weeks. And we're going to grind that out. Sometimes 90 days, it's gone. It's kind of about 90% gone. It comes back, but it's gone until one day it's gone. That took 30 seconds now.
Right.
When
Took
you
30
understand this from this high place, because Kyle, up there is a different you. Level 4 is not the same you. True?
Very true. And I had battled this for 2 years. I had battled this for 2 years back and forth. Gone.
And it's gone in what, 3 minutes?
Yeah, if that.
Oh. So I'm going to talk to Susanna. We're trying to speed that up. I'm going to have a little talk with her. Gosh, Susanna, what is your problem? It's fast, guys. I'm not, this is crazy. I'm going to leave with my favorite quote. And it goes like this. This is Goethe, the German mystic. He said, concerning all acts of initiative and creation, there is but one elementary truth. Just one. The absence of which kills, not having this, countless ideas and splendid plans And that is this. Here it is, drum roll. Here it is. The moment one definitely commits oneself, providence moves too. And then he goes on to say that from that decision, that commitment, ensues all kinds of things, all kinds of people, material assistance, let's say people, circumstances, events, and even material systems begin to come your way, which would never come your way. And he goes on to say, which no man would have dreamed would come his way. So this is, to you guys, I hope this is helpful, to live all your dreams, all your wildest and crazy dreams. I hope you do it with me, and I hope you do it without me. God bless. Much love. Thank you guys so much.